Good morning, fabulous fourth grade. Today is May 8th, 2020, and we are going to continue with our last day of online learning in our virtual classroom. I am going to share the screen. So again, good morning. Today is May 8th, and we're going to continue learning about the universe, more specifically Earth. Earth is the third planet from the sun and is the only planet in space known to have living organisms on it. So that would be plants and animals. Our learning goal, repeat after me. I can explain how the orbit of the Earth and sun cause observable patterns, which is day and night, one pattern. I can explain how the orbit of the Earth and Sun cause observable patterns day and night. Another observable pattern would be the seasons. Another observable pattern would be the tides. And a final observable pattern that we're going to investigate today would be the phases of the moon. So the Earth orbits the sun as it tilts on its axis. The Earth is tilted at a 23.5-degree angle. Because of Earth's tilt and orbital pattern, we have different phenomena like day, night, and seasons. And again, we also have the tides, and you'll learn about the low tides and the high tides in sixth grade. But just wanted to throw that in there. So why do we have day and night? That's been our big question all week long, and we're going to continue investigating it in a Google Classroom. We're also going to investigate the phases of the moon. All week we've been talking about the phenomena of Earth having days and nights, also having seasons. We've been talking about the tilt of the Earth, and it's the distance, excuse me, it's the tilt, not the distance, that causes the seasons. When I was growing up, people would say it's summertime because we're closer to the sun. And it's not necessarily that we're closer to the sun, it's just that as Earth is revolving around the sun, it's tilted on its axis, and it's the part of the hemisphere, the part of the Earth, the northern hemisphere, is tilted to the sun, closer to the sun, and that's why the northern hemisphere is experiencing summer. And when we're tilted in the northern hemisphere to the sun, then the southern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun, and so they're experiencing winter. Good job. All right, so we're going to click our class. You're going to automatically be ported to your classroom. When you go to Google Classroom, just click your specific link in the Dojo post. You will look for today's topic, and then after today's topic, you'll look for Friday, May 8th. And then same thing for Chicago. Go to classwork. From classwork, look for the universe and today's date. And then Notre Dame, classwork, look for today's topic, this week's topic, and then today's date. All right, today is May 8th. It's the last day for instruction. All right, and so we'll go to the instructions. You'll automatically be taken to the instructions. Ms. Davis gets the student work side. And today is also the last day for you to get those points. So make sure that you're logging in and completing your work. All right, so we always start our lesson out with our fab vocab. And scroll down just a little. Ms. Davis, Ms. Davis went through, and I like always go to the fab vocab and practice the fab vocab, because I feel like you have to be familiar with what it is that you're teaching. All right, so our first word is planet. A planet is a large body in space that orbits a star and does not produce light of its own. Our planet is Earth. Tilt. To cause, to lean, incline, slope, or slant. And then Earth is tilted on its axis. You will learn about axis next, at a 23.5-degree angle, and it causes Earth to slant. Axis. It is the imaginary line that passes through Earth at the center. It should be at the center, at the north and south poles about which Earth rotates, and then there's the axis. Orbit. So the path of an object as it revolves around another object in space. I found an interesting fact as I was studying over the planets. There, the reason, one of the reasons they wanted to say that Pluto should not be a planet was because its orbit is actually through another planet's orbit. So typically a planet has its own orbital path. So you see the planets, like here's Earth's orbital path around the sun, um, and then the gas giants. But then out here you have Pluto, a couple other small dwarf planets, but they also have orbital paths around the sun. And of course, the further out you are, the longer your orbital path is. And so you have the terrestrial planets, the land planets with land masses, and their orbital path is shorter than the gas giants, which are these back here, the outer planets, the inner planets, and the outer planets. These are our terrestrial planets, and these are our gas giants. Terrestrial means has land mass, and then the gas giants themselves are Miles Branch. The gas giants, they don't have as much land mass. They do have a surface though, and they also have an orbital path. Sorry, the stage was having technical issues. Computer. So anyway, let's go to our next term. A star. So a ball of hot gas, primary hydrogen and helium that undergoes nuclear fusion, and the stars actually have different ages. So like our star is a teenager. It's a teenager right now. It'd be all rebellious, sometimes giving us a little too much heat, sometimes not enough. But our star is actually a teenager right now in star years. All right, Earth star. Our star is the sun. Just look at it. Just look at it, because it's not good to look at it outside, but just all right. Rotate. So to spin on an axis takes 24 hours for it to rotate once. And we talked about Earth rotation, that's a day. And then it's also responsible for a day and night. And the moon actually rotates as well. All right, and then revolve. The moon also revolves, and the the Earth revolves, as you can see, its orbital path to go around something in a circle, to turn around in a circle. So when you have that younger sibling and you're just sitting there and you're trying to watch TV and they're running in front of you and they just keep running in front of you and running in a circle around you, you are being orbited by that annoying younger sibling. I was that sibling. My sister threw a comb at me once. All right, hemisphere, half of the Earth. So this is the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. This is the western hemisphere and eastern hemisphere. Direct light coming in, but not at an angle. It delivers the most heat. So what season do we get the most direct sunlight? If you said summer, you're absolutely correct. Indirect light coming in at an angle, not as hot. So what season do we get the least amount of direct sunlight or more indirect light? You said winter. You're absolutely correct. Equator. The equator is an imaginary line or imaginary circle around the middle of the Earth, halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole. So this is the equator. And then the equinox is the 2 days of the year on which neither hemisphere is tilted toward or away from the sun. So it's that It's that time of the year where we get the same amount of daylight and sunlight. I don't know. I think that makes sense. It's like we're not getting like during certain times of the year we get more sunlight. Certain times of the year we get more daylight, and but on the equinoxes we don't, and we have two a year. The solstice, same thing. It's the time of the year when we're farthest away from the equator, whether the Earth is tilted facing this way or whether we're facing the other way. So we have like a winter solstice and we have a summer solstice. And then the seasons, Earth has seasons because its axis is tilted as it moves around the sun. And you know the four seasons. I hope. Satellite. A satellite is an object that revolves around another object in space. Our satellite is the moon. The moon. It's so pretty, right? And then the moon, of course, has its phases. And we're going to learn more about those today. This is the sunlight here. As you can see, we're getting direct sunlight, indirect sunlight, like the least amount of indirect sunlight. All right. And so let's play the match game. My best time was 22 seconds. See if I can beat that today. All right. Oh, that is the Earth satellite. That's a planet. Hemisphere, tilt, solstice, direct. Boom, 14.9. Ms. Davis been like familiarizing herself with this. I think y'all can do it though. I really think. Jalen Athena has been giving Ms. Davis a run. Like she's been doing it. All right, so once you do this 2 times, I want you to go back to Google Classroom. Here, I want you to watch the Brain Pop video, Moon Phases. I just want you to see what it looks like. You are going to log in. The username and the password are the same, the Davis T. And you're going to log in eventually. There we go. All right, so I'm already logged in, but this is what it's gonna say. The movie was short. I don't think it was very, very long. You're not going to do the quiz. Instead, you're going to do the thinking questions. It's taking its time. There we go. So that's what it starts out looking like. It's 4 minutes and it's just the direct sunlight. And it talks about the different phases, the waning and waxing gibbouses, the earth, and then they model it. I thought it was a really great video that talks about the moon phases. All right, so after you watch the video, watch it 2 times because Ms. Davis loves 2 times. Then you'll answer our thinking question. It's a real simple question. Not really. But if you watch the video, you will get the answer to the question. And then you'll press submit or turn in. You'll press turn in and then it'll come directly to Ms. Davis. I will give you those 10 points because you watched the video and you answered the question. You have to watch the video to answer the question. I'll say it again. You have to watch the video to answer the question. All right. The next thing that you have to do is what causes the seasons. Someone said they could not find it. If you click the link, then you'll be taken to ReadWorks. And if you're not already logged in, then you log in as a student. And then you touch submit after you answer the questions. Okay? Awesome. All right. And that is another 10 points because you have to read and then answer the question. That's 20 points already. Hold up. 25 because you also have your Quizlet. So then from there, the last thing you're doing is the Legends of Learning. If you play the game today, that's another 5 points. That's another 5 points. My internet is running slow, so then it's not going to pull up. But if you play the game today, Legends of Learning, then that's another 5 points. So that's 30 points total. today. All right, scholars. So again, study your fab vocab, watch the brain pop video using Davis T217 and Davis T217. Complete the thinking questions. That's my cat. That's that's Taco. That's really my cat. And then complete the read works and the legends of learning. If you have any questions, Ms. Davis is available from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. You can send me an email, message on Dojo, or you can send me a message in Google Classroom. I am here for you. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. All right, bye.